Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we are going to learn about IELTS writing task 1. We're going to focus on how to use a pie chart to write a task 1. In the previous lesson, I taught you how to write the introduction and the overview of this particular question. So if you want to have a complete essay, then I recommend that you watch the video on how to write the introduction and the overview, and then you watch this video on how to write body paragraph 2 and body paragraph 3 so that you can have a complete essay. Remember, when it comes to IELTS task 1, you're supposed to write 4 paragraphs. The introduction, the overview, and 2 body paragraphs. The other thing that is important to remember about task 1 is that you get 20 minutes. You get 20 minutes to write your task 1. You should write more than 150 words. Your task 1 is worth about 33% of your total writing marks. The rest of the marks go to writing task 2. When it comes to your writing task 1, you will be marked on task achievement, coherence and cohesion, vocabulary, and grammar. The academic writing task 1 is a report, and you could be asked to write a report, for example, on a bar chart, on a line graph, on a table, on a map, or a diagram, or even a pie chart like we're going to look at in this lesson. The general training students, task 1 is a letter. So this writing task 1 is only meant for the academic students. Now, let's get into how to write task 1 based on our pie charts. But before we get into our lesson, have you subscribed to this channel? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel and I promise you, you will not regret it. This is because I upload really helpful videos on writing task 1 and 2, but also IELTS speaking part 1, part 2, and part 3. That's not all. In my channel, you can find a lot of videos on grammar. You can also find videos on vocabulary. And if you want to know how to speak English in different situations, for example, when you go shopping, when you go to the doctor, when you go to the optician, for example, have a look at my channel and you will find so many playlists that are going to really help your level of English to improve. So subscribe to this channel and just turn your notification button on, and I can guarantee you, you will not regret it. Every single video that you click from my channel is going to be really helpful. Now let's get into our lesson. The first thing that you do once you have received your task 1 is to read the question. It is extremely important that you understand the question and you understand the diagrams. In our case, we have 2 pie charts, and one of the pie charts is based on students by faculty. So we have students in the faculty of engineering, science, computing, business, law, arts, and medicine. And the second pie chart is giving us information in regards to the number of students who have enrolled into the university that are taking arts degrees, art-based degrees. It's giving us information in regards to their background. Where do they come from? We notice that 81% of them are European, so they come from Europe, and we have 23 of them being Chinese, 8 of them are Arab students, and we have 5 Indian students and 3 African students. The pie charts are basically showing us the percentage of students joining Bristol University in the United Kingdom. So when we look at the 2 pie charts, we're able to know how many students joined the different faculties and from which countries do they come from? What's their ethnicity? Where do they come from? So once you have interpreted the pie charts based on the information that has been provided to you by IELTS, which is in red, the pie charts on the left show the percentage of students joining Bristol University in the United Kingdom. Once you have done that, then you write your introduction. After you have written your introduction, then you need to write the overview. In the previous lesson, I taught you how to write the introduction and the overview. So remember to have a look at that video so that you can have a complete essay. Once you have written the introduction and the overview, then you need to write body paragraph 2. Now, how do you write body paragraph 2? The most important thing is to divide your information. You have to make sure that you divide your information. In the first paragraph, which is body paragraph 2, we are going to talk about the first pie chart. We are going to compare and contrast the information that has been provided to us in the first pie chart. And in the third paragraph, we are going to write a paragraph based on the second pie chart. So body paragraph 2 is going to be based on the pie chart about students by faculty, and body paragraph 3 is going to be based on the information that is given in the second pie chart on arts students. So the most important thing is to divide your information. It is extremely important so that it's very clear in your mind. The body paragraph 2 is going to be based on the first pie chart, and body paragraph 3 is going to be based on the second pie chart. Once you have decided how you're going to divide your information, then you begin writing the paragraphs. So let us begin by looking at the first pie chart. When you look at the first pie chart, you notice that the students who are studying engineering, medicine, and science, okay? In engineering, we have 28%. Science, we have 16%. We have medicine, 10%. Now, the number of students who are in those faculties are more than the students in the rest of the faculties. So, because of that, we can conclude that science-based degrees are more popular in Bristol University than arts-based degrees. When we're talking about science-based degrees, we are talking about engineering, which has 28%, medicine, which has 10%, that is 38%, and then we have science, which has 16%. Now, when you compare that to the arts degrees, so we have arts with 22% and we have law with 4%. That is only 26%. So we can conclude that science-based degrees are more popular than art-based degrees in Bristol University. That is the first key feature. So we are going to transfer that to our body paragraph 2. So we begin writing the sentence. Bristol University is evidently quite popular with students who are interested in pursuing science-based degrees as compared to art. Okay, so that's the first key feature, that Bristol University is evidently quite popular with students who are interested in pursuing. To pursue, it means to study. Remember, this is a Band 9 essay. Who are interested in pursuing. Pursuing means studying. So pursuing is simply a Band 9 advanced word that means studying. Science-based degrees as compared to art. So we have more students. When we look at the first pie chart, there are more students who are studying science-based degrees compared to art-based degrees. Now, once you have made it very clear what you're going to discuss in body paragraph 2 through your topic sentence, after that you have to prove it. Remember, in your writing task 1, body paragraphs 2 and 3, you're supposed to use a lot of figures and numbers. You have to support every single claim that you make. So in the rest of the paragraph, I am going to do that. Now, out of the total number of students who joined the university, 28% were admitted to the Faculty of Engineering, followed by 16% in the Science Faculty and 10% in Medicine. Now, engineering, science, and medicine are all science-based degrees. So I have proved, okay, that science-based degrees are very popular when it comes to the first pie chart, because we have, out of the total number of students who joined the university, 28% were admitted to the Faculty of Engineering, followed by 16% in the Science Faculty and 10% in Medicine. Now, I then have to prove that the total number of students who applied or who are admitted for art-based degrees were less. So I introduced that fact with a connector, a linking word that is the opposite, and that is on the contrary, only 22% enrolled for arts and 4% in law. Now, those are the two art-based degrees that we have there in the first pie chart. That is arts and law. And as you can see, the percentage of arts is 22 and law is 4%. So when you count that in total, that is 26% of the students who are pursuing arts degrees that were enrolled in Bristol University. When you compare that with the total number of students who joined the university to study science-based students, then you can see very clearly, as I said, evidently, there are more. There are more students who are studying science-based degrees compared to those who are studying arts-based degrees. So I am done with the first point. The first point was to show that science-based degrees are more popular in Bristol University compared to art-based degrees. And I have proved that with figures. Then I move on to the next point. Enrollment in the Faculty of Business, because I have talked about all the faculties, but there are two faculties that you notice that I haven't talked about. I haven't talked about business and I haven't talked about computing. So I have to think of a key feature that I can talk about based on those two faculties. So enrollment in the Faculty of Business was equally low, okay? It was equally low, so I use the word equally because I'm comparing with the previous one, which was 4%, enrollment in the Faculty of Business was equally low at 4% compared to a very high admission in Computer Studies, whose percentage is 6 times higher at 24%. Enrollment in the Faculty of Business was equally low. Remember, in the previous sentence, I just said that, on the contrary, only 22% enrolled for arts and 4% in law. So we also have 4% in business. That's why I'm using the word equally. So enrollment in the Faculty of Business was equally low at 4% compared to a very high admission in Computer Studies, whose percentage is 6 times higher at 24%. Now, I use the word 6 times higher because for law, for the very first one, for the Faculty of Business, it's 4%. So if you multiply 4 by 6, you get 24%. That's why I said enrollment in the Faculty of Business was equally low at 4% compared to a very high admission in Computer Studies, whose percentage is 6 times higher at 24%. Now, what you notice, what I have done in body paragraph 2, I have based the whole paragraph on the first pie chart. I have compared and contrasted the information. I have also ensured that I have provided evidence of all my claims by using numbers: 28%, 16%, 10%, 22%, 4%, 24%. So you are expected to prove every single claim that you make using figures and numbers. The other thing I have done in body paragraph 2 is I have used comparatives. I have used comparatives to compare the information. For example, I used popular, the phrase compared to, the word total, the word equally. Okay, so you have words, for example, popular, you have low, you have high, okay, you have 6 times higher. All these words and phrases are comparative terms. They are terms that we use when we are comparing data, okay? Now, the other thing that you noticed is that I used linking words very carefully, okay? I use the linking words on the contrary, okay? On the contrary, and that is because the information that I had given previously was about science-based degrees. So on the contrary, I introduced arts-based degrees. One of them is very high and the other one is very low. That's why I am using on the contrary. Okay? Now, let's move on to body paragraph 3. So body paragraph 3 is going to be based on the second pie chart. You have to look at the information in the second pie chart and identify the key features. What are the key features? You notice, first of all, that the second pie chart is giving us information about how many art students enrolled in Bristol University. Where do they come from? 81 of them are European. 23 of them are Chinese. 8 of them are Arabs. 5 of them are Indians, and 3 of them are Africans. So what are the key features there? Now, although the population of students pursuing art-based degrees is the smallest, as we saw from body paragraph 2, we saw that science-based degrees are the most popular. So we have most of the students studying science-based degrees. So that's why remember, you still have to compare body paragraph 2 and body paragraph 3. So that's why I began body paragraph 3 by comparing body paragraph 3 with body paragraph 2. Although the population of students pursuing art-based degrees is the smallest compared to those who are studying science-orientated degrees, the students come from all over the world, majority of whom are European. You have 81 of them in brackets, followed by 23 Chinese students. On the other hand, minority of them originate from India. You have 5, and Africa with a student population of only 3 students. So I introduced body paragraph 3 by comparing it with body paragraph 2. Remember, this is a comparative type of essay. So you can't begin body paragraph 3 without comparing it to body paragraph 2. I did that by comparing the information. Remember, in body paragraph 3, my key feature was the fact that the student population, the number of students who are studying art-based degrees are fewer than those who are studying science-based degrees. And that's why I started body paragraph 3 with a sentence, although. So the linking word is although the population of students pursuing art-based degrees is the smallest, as I pointed out in body paragraph 2, compared to those who are studying science-orientated degrees, the students come from all over the world, majority of whom are European. So I have to support my claim, okay? I have to support my claim with figures, majority of whom are European. That is 81 students, followed by 23 Chinese students. On the other hand, minority of them originate from India. You have 5 students, and Africa with a student population of only 3 students. So body paragraph 2 key feature is the fact that majority of the students are studying science-based degrees, and the key feature for body paragraph 3 is based on the second pie chart, and that is where the students originate from, where they come from. However, I still have to make sure that I compare the information in body paragraph 2 to the information in body paragraph 3. And that is why I started by doing that. And I used the linking word although. The population of students pursuing art-based degrees is the smallest compared to those who are studying science-orientated degrees. The students come from all over the world, and then I provide the information based on the second pie chart. I provide the data. Majority of them are European, okay, followed by 23 Chinese students. So that is the majority where they come from. Then I use a comparative word that is the opposite. I use the linking word on the other hand, but I also have the word minority. In the previous sentence, I talked about majority. That is where the majority of the students come from. And then in the last one, in the last sentence, I'm talking about the minority. That is where minority of the students come from. Majority means where most of them come from, and minority is the opposite, where the least of them come from, where they originate from. Okay? So when it comes to writing task 1, what I would recommend to you is once you have written your introduction and the overview, then divide your information based on the pie charts. Decide which pie chart are you going to write about in which paragraph. In my case, I based my body paragraph 2 on the first pie chart, and then the body paragraph 3 is based on the second pie chart. But for each pie chart, you have to identify the key features that you're going to discuss in each paragraph. In body paragraph 2, my key feature was the fact that more students are interested in studying science-based degrees compared to art-based degrees. And then my key feature for body paragraph 3 was the fact that majority of the students come from Europe and minority of them originate from India and Africa. So that was my second key feature. However, remember also that when you move on to body paragraph 3, you have to begin the body paragraph 3 by comparing it to body paragraph 2. Okay, and remember, I did that by pointing out, although the population of students pursuing art-based degrees is the smallest compared to those who are studying science-oriented degrees, the students come from all over the world. Okay, the other thing that is very important is that you use comparatives and superlatives. Now, you notice that all the words that I have underlined, for example, popular, compared to, total, okay, low, high, majority, minority, okay. All these words are words that we use when we're comparing and contrasting data, okay. So make sure that you use comparatives and superlatives. The other thing that is very important is that you use your linking words, okay? Use your linking words very carefully. You notice that I have used linking words such as on the contrary, although, on the other hand, okay? So use your linking words very carefully, choose them very carefully so that they serve the purpose that you want, and that is to compare and to contrast. The other thing that is important is the use of noun, what we call pronoun phrases, okay? We have a number of phrases that you can see that I have used through the use of pronouns such as, relative pronouns such as who, whose, okay, whom. It is extremely important that you learn how to use those kind of phrases. If you're not familiar with that, how to use pronouns, personal relative pronouns, that is who, whose, I have a video that I have uploaded about doing that and how you make sentences using those words. So feel free to have a look at that so that you can develop more competence in how to use relative pronouns, okay? Now, the other thing that is important, ensure that you use all the figures, all the numbers to support your claims, okay? Support your claims. You can put the numbers in brackets or you can just write next to it. Like, for example, you can see I talked about European, and then I put into brackets 81, from India, and then I put 5 into brackets. Or you can simply say followed by 23 Chinese students, okay? So that's how you write your task 1, the body paragraph 2, and the body paragraph 3 based on this particular question. Remember, I have already uploaded a video about how to write the introduction and the overview. Your writing task 1 should be 4 paragraphs. Introduction, overview, body paragraph 2, and body paragraph 3, and you're done. Remember, you've only got 20 minutes, okay, to write more than 150 words. Quite challenging, but with practice, it gets better, okay? Now, the other thing is obviously ensure that you understand the data that is provided to you by IELTS. First of all, make sure that you read the information they have provided you with. In our case, the information is the pie charts on the left show the percentage of students joining Bristol University in the United Kingdom. Okay? Now, once you have read the information, then look at the pie charts and make sure that you understand the data very well, because you're going to use that data to write your introduction, your overview, your body paragraph 2, and body paragraph 3. But the most important thing to remember when it comes to the writing of body paragraph 2 and body paragraph 3 is that you divide your information based on the 2 pie charts, okay? And for each pie chart, ensure that you have the key features. And then as you move from body paragraph 2 to body paragraph 3, once you begin writing body paragraph 3, remember to compare the key feature to the key feature in body paragraph 2, okay? Now, if you found this lesson helpful, then subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up and share this video on all your social media platforms. Do not keep this channel a secret anymore. Let other people also benefit from the channel. I have shared with you. Please share the information with other people so that they can also benefit, because sharing is caring. Now, remember to turn your notification button on. I will be uploading more videos on Task 1, Task 2, and IELTS Speaking Part 1 and cue cards for Part 2 and Part 3. And do not forget to have a look at the rest of my videos in my channel, because I can guarantee you there are so many other videos that will be extremely helpful for you. Now, thank you very much and see you in our next lesson. Bye bye.